I was 17, standing at a bus stop in Denver late at night when a poorly dressed man asked me for money. I didn't hesitate. "I don't have money for you to go buy booze," I said, confident, certain, completely sure I understood his motives. He didn't argue. He didn't defend himself. He just asked, "Do you have a spare cigarette?" Relieved to be generous on my terms, I handed him one. He looked at me and said, "We all have our vices, don't we?" And just like that, my moral high ground disappeared. More on that in a moment. First, a quick reminder that Compassionate Geek customer service training helps your team become easier to work with for customers and coworkers. Click the link in the description to enroll your team today. So, what happened to my moral high ground? Well, because I just judged him for what I assumed he would do with money, while handing him something I used to feed my own habit, my moral high ground vanished. That moment has stayed with me for decades, not because of the cigarette, but because of what it exposed. As leaders, especially in IT, we don't stand at bus stops making snap judgments. We do it in meetings, in performance reviews, in ticket escalations. We assume we know why someone missed a deadline. We assume we know why a technician sounded abrupt. We assume we know why someone resists change. That engineer just doesn't care. She's difficult. He's not leadership material, and we're just as confident as I was at 17. Here's the hard truth. Many of the behaviors we criticize in others show up in us under different labels. We call our impatience efficiency. We call our resistance standards. We call our ego experience. Those are leadership blind spots, and blind spots don't just affect us. They shape culture. They affect trust. They determine whether people feel respected or judged. The most dangerous gaps in leadership aren't technical. They're the assumptions we never question. Strong leaders ask themselves, what story am I telling about this person? What assumption am I making right now, and where might I be guilty of the same thing? Because humility isn't weakness, it's clarity. And sometimes the most important leadership lesson doesn't come from a boardroom. It comes from a stranger who holds up a mirror and says, "We all have our vices, don't we?" Oh, and in case you're wondering, I gave up cigarettes years ago. Want more? You'll find tips and training on IT customer service, teamwork, and leadership at CompassionateGeek.com.